Hey guys, I'm Fedook, and for this video, I'm gonna be...
Shut up. Fuck. This build is mainly around static orb, and I'm gonna go over the passive points that I grabbed for this build, and I'm gonna go over the weapon that I'm building around, the skill tree, why I chose those skill points, and I'm gonna show you guys some good gameplay. Gonna explain some comps that you can do with this build to maximize your damage, and yeah. And then I'm also gonna do the endless arena. I'm gonna see how far I can get in the arena. So let's get things started. Alright, so I'm gonna go over my weapon first. So let's open my inventory. That's not my inventory. So I picked up this weapon, Cool Navarre's Claim. Alright. Now this item gives you 90% increased spell damage, 90% increased spell lightning critical strike chance, 10% increased mana regen. The only downside of this item is that 100% of your mana is converted to ward and you reach full mana. So you lose all your mana. You want to try and keep your mana about 50% if you can for most of the time, or else you'll lose all your mana. But the increased mana regen is pretty good though. It helps out a lot. Next thing we're going to go over is the passives. Okay, so I'm obviously a mage, so in the mage tree I went into Elementalist just to get increased element damage. I didn't really want to grab life or mana per second, and I didn't care for this one to be honest, because this one also links up to Arcane Current, which gives you, so every 10 seconds when you hit an enemy with a lightning ability, you cast Arcane Lightning up to 5 other enemies around them. It's really good. Very strong spell, so I maxed that out. And then I went into Element Penetration so that I could deal more damage with lightning abilities. And then I went into Sorcerer, not Blade, Spell Blade, and I grabbed Calculating Destruction. Increases my critical strike chance with spells, which is amazing with lightning abilities. So, and then next I went into Arcane Momentum, increase cast speed. If you have cast a spell in the past 2 seconds, it's okay. And then I went grabbed a bit of intelligence, and then went 10 out of 10 with this because it gives you 60% increased lightning damage and 20% chance to shock on hit with lightning skills. Fucking amazing. And then it also links up to Rift Bolt, which is just lightning pen. Like, kind of had to take that, and then you move on over here to the Crackling Precision, 48% increased critical strike chance with lightning skills. And I only grabbed 2 for this, but it's pretty good. When you critical strike with a lightning ability, your next spell costs 10 less mana. It helps with the fact of losing mana, and how many fucking static orbs I'll be firing out. It helps with that too. And then I went into Arcane Obliteration, 90% additional critical strike multiplier with spells. And then we went on to Arcane Intellect and Arcane Current. So these are the last 2 that I'll be like maxing out kind of thing. This Arcane Intellect gives you 20% chance to gain 50% increased element damage on hit for 4 seconds. So that buff is pretty fucking good, and I want to increase the chance of getting that buff. You also just get flat intellect from putting points into this, and then this just increases your effective shock, so your damage if you shock enemies. Next thing I'm going to go over is the 5 abilities that I'm specializing around. So we're going to go over the main ability, which is Static Orb. Now, when you look into this, I think the first point I grabbed was Controlled Explosion, and which Static Orb explodes where you target rather than after traveling a fixed distance. It's kind of nice because you can plan your explosions. And then I went down into Charged Ground. Increases the mana cost of Static Orb, but the explosion leaves static ground, which basically has Spark Novas in a large area. It does a fuck ton of damage. I'll show you guys later. And then you want to go into this just so you can, it's mana ground so that you can actually cast the fucking ability, because without this, yeah, it's too expensive. And then you go over to Shocking Orb. The projectile of Static Orb gains 20% chance to shock, which is really good. Just increases my damage. But I only put one into this because you only really need one. It only increases the chance of getting it, so it's not that great. But it links it all. It's good stuff down here. So you go Static Bolts. Next, the projectile of Static Orb deals 75% increased damage, which is a lot. So, and then you go into this. Static Orb no longer pulls enemies because the ability itself normally would pull. Now instead, the Static Orb projectile deals 100% increased damage. So that's crazy. And then you go down into this one. This is the big point, guys. Fucking crazy. 70% chance to double cast when you use this fucking ability. I'm eventually probably gonna max that out, so I think it's a 90% chance at 7. We'll see. But after that, I went into this, and if you alt to check the detail of it, because it's just a buff, you have a 40% chance of getting a buff on cast, and it lasts 8 seconds and grants lightning protection. If you take 30 damage while you have this buff on, it is consumed and casts lightning rain at a nearby enemy. Damn. Lightning rain scales with increase to spell damage and lightning damage. So that's pretty crazy. And then you go into this, and 25% chance to knock back enemies or nearby enemies on cast. We're gonna go over I guess we'll go over my Shock Nova, Element Nova, but you go all into Shock and Lightning. So you go to Lightning Nova, over to Spark Charges, so you have a chance to attach a Spark on hit, which then gives you 15% increased damage. I put 5 into this because you have a 40% chance to overcharge your Novas, and they deal 200% additional shock chance and 75% increased area. That's insane. And then I went over into Ascendant Current, 480% increased shock effect if you have hit an enemy with Elemental Nova recently. That's a fucking huge percent. So I also went over, ooh, this is new. Whoa, they just added this. What the fuck? I guess that's in the update. 90% increased area of effect. So let's check this out. Changes Element Nova into a channeling ability, unleashes 5 nodes per second. Wow, that's fucking cool. When I level this up, I'm gonna try it out and add it into the build because that actually looks fucking cool. So we're gonna look at my gap closer here. Honestly, with this one, it's all preference, guys. You can do whatever you want. I went into plasma protection for lightning and fire protection, and into crystalline passage for cold protection and armor, just to kind of beef me up a bit. This is after casting the ability. Over into stat buffs from having teleport. Recently I have 20% increased duration, so it makes me tanky for longer. I went into this just to get a free ability after using it. Over into this for increased element damage if I use it recently. Now these 3 are pretty cool. You grab this so that when you cast Nova at the location, you teleport and you basically shoot a Nova where you locate, and then this is in between. You shoot another Nova in between, and I think this is one. Oh no, this is the one where it's halfway in between, and this is where you cast. So you literally shoot 3 Novas on your way to your location. It's pretty cool. And then you go into this decoy position, and you just pretty much have a decoy whenever you cast it. And it's crazy because I have this one, just 1 decoy, another decoy, and another 2 decoys. So now we're gonna look at Snap Freeze. Now this ability is originally a cold spell, but if you build it over here, you then turn it into a Snap Shock ability, converting all your cold damage to lightning. And so when you it's like, I think it's a guaranteed shock on enemies you hit, and increasing your damage by a fuck ton. It has a cooldown, but it's very strong. And then you obviously just want to grab all lightning damage to go into that, and that's pretty much all I did for that. And if you go over to Fire Shield, I mainly use this also for another defense item or spell to give me protection. And yeah, and then also grants 40% increased lightning damage and reduces duration by 4 seconds. You won't have to grab that, and the rest is kind of preference. You can do whatever you want. You're playing with teams or with other players, you can use this to cast it on allies. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to go over is skill comps that you can make. So I got two that are my favorite, and I'm going to show you right here. So you shoot a bunch of static orbs in place like this, and then you dive in, get all your novas off, and then you pop a fourth nova when you get in there. So, and then there's the other combo is honestly mostly just kiting with orbs, and you just stack a million orbs underneath them and kind of try and kite all their abilities, and then use your gap closer if you need to. The riskiest play is to kind of like gap close in and to blow everything up. So those are honestly the two comps. Oh fuck, my computer like blew up there. But yeah, so I'm gonna show some gameplay here. I mean, just killing shit, showing my damage. My damage is honestly, it's pretty impressive. It's pretty sick. So also always remember to keep your shield on at all times, because it gives you a shit ton of defenses and damage. So that's a big part of the build. And then also use your shock snap to increase damage. You have to be pretty close to use it. So sometimes kind of shoot a bunch of static orbs, kite, try and make your way up there, and to get your shock snap off. And then you can kind of nova away and shoot even more shit. You blow up bosses that way. So this is the end of one of the areas that you can do. You get these chests, you open them, and then you kill a shit ton of monsters. So I'll show you how much damage I do to all these fuckers. I didn't get the boss, but yeah, this build is insane for AoE damage. I just blow everything up. Like, goodbye. Holy shit. I think there is a little boss. I think he spawns at the end of these waves, and then you kind of just fuck him up. So oh, is that him right there? Oh, I think that's him. Goodbye, dude. Just fuck that guy up. And then you go to the portal and you get loot. I ended up leveling, and I put a point in that new passive I was talking about for Elemental Nova. So now I can actually channel it. So I came up with a third comp for you guys. I'm going to call this one the All Out, because holy shit, it's insane. So first thing you want to do, just like everything else, is you put your shield on, okay, shoot a bunch of static, go in there, and you channel your novas, like that. With all that static going off with your nova, that shit would be insane. We're showing one more time with more mana. Fuck, that's insane. Alright, so I'm in the endless arena. I'm a little fucking scared. Oh my god! I'm scared. What's that? Oh, they're all like fucking distracted. Okay, okay. Damn, it's actually pretty strong. What is that? That's a new thing, I think. Fuck that. Let's do some harder waves here. It's a good little strat. Oh my god. Fucking PC, dude. This game isn't optimized very well yet, but I mean, it's to be expected, so. Here. I can't see where the cursor is, man. It's hard to like, it doesn't stand out. It's a big iffy for me with this game right now. I'm gonna see how far I can make it with this build. Oh my god, I got fucked! Not gonna lie, it's just a little laggy right now to play with that much shit blowing up on my screen. The game can't really process it very well. It's hard to even tell where my mouse is half the time. But anyways, I think that pretty much wraps up this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and subscribe if you want to get notifications for my upcoming videos, because I'm going to be doing some cool shit. I'm going to be doing classic WoW, and I'm going to be doing Gears of War 5 content. So I'm really excited for that. So stay tuned, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.